Flight boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're now listening to the Mind of an Antares Moon. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now, we're going to talk about Nicki Minaj astrological little points that she got between the sun, moon, and the ascendant. And they actually got her actual hour, so right now we know her ascendant, so-called. So you know, right now this is astrotheme.com that I'm working off. I'm doing a freestyle analysis on it, but this is just going to tell me where her placement's at. Now before we even get into anything, we got to separate them. So let's talk about the sun, moon, and the ascendant. Now the sun is your actions, the way you act and how you see things. So it's your energy, vitality, your ego, where you see yourself, how you perceive yourself, and where you think others, and how you think others may see you. Now, when we talk about the moon is who you are, your emotional response, your emotional reactions, and what makes you comfortable in this lifetime. Your ascendant is your personality, personal issues, and personal affairs, which ultimately is the personal people, places, and things that's in your life. Now, we're gonna talk about Nicki Minaj. Now, her sun is in Sagittarius, 16 degrees to be exact. Her moon is in 27 degrees Virgo, and her ascendant is in 0 degrees Aquarius. So off the bat, we're dealing with fire, earth, air. Now off the bat, let's talk about her sun. Let's talk about the actions, the way she see things. Now we talk about Sagittarius right now, mutable fire, being mutable and being able to adapt to its own or other people's ways of seeing things and feeling about things that's in front of us. So you know what I'm saying? They have their own visions. They can see other people's visions. They can see other people's expressions. They can see how other people's optimisms, other people's energy. And they like to see their own. So a lot of times they pick up energy, they pick up vibrations, they pick up feelings. You know what I'm saying? They like to they act on other people's feelings. So a lot of times a Sagittarius may not act themselves. They may act on the expression of other people's feelings or other things, or they may create a few characters into themselves so they can act on different things. And I know this also because I got Sagittarius energy in me also. So you know, dealing with her ways of seeing things, she see things she like to experience new experiences and things of that nature. So new experiences is important because this creates new views, new ways of seeing things, more broad perspective, more broad viewpoints of things of that nature. So she really spiritual also. She really spiritual that people don't know. She may act the way she act and how she see things is like tied to spiritual. Now she may not always feel comfortable with expressing these things. She may not always even be in that realm of reality when she's somewhere to herself, because her moon is in Virgo. But before we get there, we're going to talk about the sun. Now, the way she see things and the things she act on, she see the things in a broad perspective. Like she like to see how other people see things, how other people view certain things, certain subjects, certain actions, certain viewpoints, things of that nature. And then she like to come to a broad conclusion on how to act upon them things or how to see them things in general. You know what I'm saying? So viewpoints like that and actions like that are geared towards optimism or geared towards luck or geared towards being the best. Because if you a person who your actions and your energy is predicated on seeing how everybody else view things, seeing how everybody else see things, seeing how everybody else act, and then you're able to assess a broad perspective on how to act on that, or you come up with a broad perspective on how to see that in general, this would make you like, this would set you like a person, like an outside looking in type of person, like expansion almost. You like an outside looking in. So if you talented in any kind of way, you can utilize that energy and just knock everybody out the way, because you seeing how everybody else act and mingling, you seeing how everybody else see things, you seeing how this person see the way this person look, and you seeing how this person see how this person think everybody else look at them, and you come up with a broad conclusion on how you see and view that in general. And these are things you act on. Now her moon is in Virgo. Now that's mutable earth. Now anytime there's a square, here's another square. Now anytime there's a square, that's a learning process. So anytime two planets are squaring each other, they have to learn from each other. So her actions and the way she see things has a lot to learn from her reactions and what she feel comfortable with. So a lot of times the things she feel comfortable with and the things that's private to her, or things that's like genuinely her, you may not see that. You know what I'm saying? She may not feel comfortable with showing these things. But a lot of times her actions and the way she see things, right? A lot of times she may not even feel comfortable with that. But a lot of times she may utilize that. Like, let me remind you, everything is filtered through the sun. So what makes you comfortable in who you are, the sun is going to play that out. The sun is going to show how it wants that to be seen or how it wants that to be done. So a lot of times when you got a square here, it's kind of a contradiction. So it's like when you're not sure a lot of times what you want to be seen and what you don't want to be seen, a lot of times you go through stumble and falls. You need representations or you need examples from others. So with the moon being in Virgo right here, what makes her comfortable is her sitting back, analyzing, seeing how other people get things working, how other people think, because Earth is thinking and practicality. Now mutable is Virgo, so it's mutable Earth, being mutable and being able to adapt to its own or other people's ways of thinking and being practical, which ultimately is common sense. So she has to sit back and see how you think. She has to analyze and criticize how you think, how you get things working, how things work for you. Is things practically working for you? Does it make sense for you? And she's not only doing that with you, but she's doing that with many others. And then she's coming to a broad conclusion on how things are supposed to, how she's supposed to think, or how things are supposed to work for her in general. You know what I'm saying? From a broad perspective way. You see what I'm saying? Because all mutable signs come to broad conclusions. All fixed signs come to stability. All cardinal signs initiate the spark. So when we talk about mutable right here in Earth, for her to know how things work, and in general, for her, she has to see how things work in all kind of ways. For you, she see how things work for you. She think a lot. She criticizing a lot. She analyze, and a lot of times she's doing this inner. A lot of times she's not even expressing this, and a lot of times she can express it. Sometimes things just may come out the mouth that she don't mean to at times, because a lot of times what she feel comfortable with saying, it could come out extreme, because her actions is Sagittarius, which is extreme expansion. So a lot of times it could come out fiery or an expressive way, or in a Philly type of way, make you feel a certain type of way, or come out in a way to try to make you see something in a type of way. So when words come out in that way, and then when we talk about practical words, and it's coming from a practical place because her moon is in Virgo, it's coming from a reality base. So a lot of times the word is already coming out heavy or sharp or like a knife, and then when it come out in a fiery way, people don't know what hit them at times, or people don't know. It's like she may just switch up on people, or you know what I'm saying, and things of that nature. She known to switch up. Switch up. Now this could be a bad or a good thing. We're not saying switch up on her friends or things of that nature. We're saying switch up as far as she may have an idea and then switch up on that idea next minute, because she got comfortable in her mind with thinking about it, criticizing it, and it may not been as perfectly expressed as the way she wanted it expressed. And a lot of times her actions, when she do things, when she sit back and think about it, she look at it like it was reckless. She never really comfortable with her actions. That's another problem with the square here, with the sun and the moon square, and it being Sagittarius and Virgo, especially with Virgo being in the moon. She never really feel comfortable with her actions, but a lot of times when she see it working for others, or she see it working and it works for her, then that's what make her feel comfortable. But she all about business, so she's going to use her expression, the way she see things, how she see herself, her looks. She's always going to use that to stabilize herself, to make it work for herself, to make sure it makes sense for her. She's about business. So she's using her expression, her creativity, and her viewpoints for business, because it's a fire sun, Earth moon, and that's like Lil Uzi Vert. Lil Uzi Vert, he's a Leo sun, Taurus moon. So he's using his actions, his creativity, his visualizations for stability in his life. You know what I'm saying? For his comfortability, even if it means he have to be uncomfortable a lot of times. And Nicki Minaj know that a lot too. You see what I'm saying? And her ascendant being in Aquarius, so this makes her it's 0 degrees Aquarius, so it's sharing a lot of Capricorn energy. So she's about business. She's about initiating personally. She's about initiating, creating new ways of how to think and be practical and what makes sense in her life. You know what I'm saying? So she's going to follow or contribute or initiate new ways to come up with ways of stabilizing herself, even if that means getting with a dude, or getting into or stripping, or getting into music, or hustling, whatever. She's going to initiate a new way to gain stability in her life, but the way she do it is through relationships, because it's Aquarius cusp right here. So personally, she do it through relationships. So a lot of times she's not doing it through her actions like stripping or hustling herself or things of that nature. She's doing it through people she know, and people she's communicated with, or people who's around her community, or people she can that she associated with or do things with, that can do things with, you know what I'm saying? And she can utilize these people for a form of initiating new ways to make her a boss in some type of way. You see what I'm saying? That's when the Aquarius and Capricorn play in. So that's her personality. And then she utilizes her ways of seeing things and her visions and her broad viewpoint on how to do something, which is her actions, Sagittarius, right? And she's utilizing that to make it work in her life. You know what I'm saying? Which is her moon being in Virgo. So a lot of times she's harder on herself than y'all are. So a lot of times she's putting up the Sagittarius help her a lot, because it helps her put up a mask. But deep down inside, she's never really comfortable. You know what I'm saying? She's never really comfortable. She can never. That's probably really the reason why she probably got an ass job. Nothing probably was even wrong with her ass. But hey, that's another video. Flight boss bitch. But shout out to Nicki Minaj. Goddamn air.